Okay, hello all. My name is Faik Nur Zaman. My student ID number is 2124101. I am from IP International Business School regular class, and today we want to discuss about the corporate finance. We discuss about the summary for the corporate finance chapter. Okay, in this figure, we know that we learn about six general topic from corporate finance. The first thing is about the introduction of corporate finance, and the second thing is about the capital budgeting. The third one is analysis of securities. The fourth is capital structure and dividend policy. The fifth is fraud risk management, and the last thing is about the international finance. Okay, let's talk the first topic. Yeah, in the first topic, we learn about the financial management. We are focusing to time value of money and what is the definition of financial management. Financial management is a knowledge to optimal orchestration of internal and external financial resources towards significant and sustainable value creation. And yeah, what financial to be managed? There are several things we have to manage. For example, is asset structure, cost management, cash flow management, capital structure, growth management, revenue management, risk management, and working capital management. And yeah, we learn something that if we want to manage the financial things, also we have to manage the problem. The problem to manage the financial is conflict of interest, and then the other example is asymmetric information, moral hazard, also the problem. And what is the solution? The solution is implementing the good corporate governance or GCG. Yeah, the GCG is consists of transparency, accountability, responsibility, independency, and fairness. Okay, let's we continue to the second topic. For the second topic, we learn about the capital budgeting. Capital budgeting is basically a planning process for investment in long-term assets. So if we learn about the capital budgeting, we know about how to accept or reject a long-term investment proposal. So if we found the investment proposal from this knowledge, we know the decisions we either accept or reject the investment proposal. Okay, for the capital budgeting topic, we divide into two things. The first, we learn about capital budget concept. There are the yellow and then the capital budget method. Okay, we learn first about the capital budget concept. In the capital budget concept, we have to know the fourth concept. The first concept is estimating the expected future cash flow. And then the second one is evaluate the project based on capital budget evaluation criteria. And the third one is decide whether or which project is good or bad. And the last thing is remember two or more projects can be mutually exclusive or independent. Okay, and then the first and the second one I want to share to you is about the capital budget method. If we want to invest in some proposal, especially for long-term investment proposal, we have to know the method to capital budgeting. We have to learn the payback period of the company, and then the net present value, and then profitability index, and also the last one is and the IRR, internal rate of return. Okay, uh, there is the second topic. The other topic, we learn about analysis of security on portfolio investment. Yeah, if we want to make some investment, we basically do some things. Yeah, buy at the lower price and then sell the higher. That's the main topic about the investment. But we should separate which one we want to do investment, either passive investment or active investment. So if we do active investment, we should know or learn the fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and market or investor sentiment. For the fundamental analysis, we should analyze the domestic and global economic analysis, or we call macroeconomic, and then industrial analysis, company analysis, or the microeconomic. For example, ratio analysis, DuPont analysis, etc. Yeah, we have analyzed the financial report of the company. That's the main topic of fundamental analysis. And the second topic is technical analysis. Technical analysis, yeah, we do some math calculation for the trend line, support and resistance. We have to know the triangle, momentum versus reversal, and others. Yeah, we do some active investing. We have to know the third of the component. And yeah, if we just want to make some passive investing, basically we just have to follow to the market. Yeah, that's the theory. Yeah, that's all the analysis of security for portfolio investment. Next, yeah, fourth is capital structure. Yeah, for capital structure, we know the theory that capital is consists of debt and equity. Capital structure theory, yeah, rising from the Modigliani and Miller or MM. They have two theories. The first theory is for the assumptions: no transaction costs, no taxes, everyone has some information and borrowing rates. Debt is riskless. Debt doesn't affect operation. This called flatline theory. And the second theory is brought in 1958, in which they proved that with tax deductibility of interest payment, the optimal capital structure is 100% of debt. Yeah, from the graphic, we know that if we want to maximize the capital structure, we also can do maximize the debt ratio and then maximize the firm value. And from about what we learn for the capital structure, we have to know the factors that determine the optimal capital structure. What is that? Tax benefit, for example, is profitability and tax rate. And the other things is expected financial distress like liquidity, sales growth, and etc. Yeah, that's the capital structure. Okay, the fifth topic is fraud risk management. Yeah, we know the theory from Donald I. Tracy that fraud is can rises from the third topic. The first is pressure, and then the second one rationalization, and the last thing is opportunity. Two of them, pressure, rationalization, is come from the internal of the person, and the other thing, opportunities are comes from the external. And from this theory, the fraud triangle, we learn also about the seven shenanigans. What is seven shenanigans? Seven shenanigans is definitely is the example about the seven example of the fraud. Yeah, This fraud is related to dishonest activity of tomfoolery, silly, and high-spirited mischief. For example, recording revenue too soon, boosting income with one-time gains, recording bogus revenue, shifting current expenses to a later or earlier period, shifting current income to a later period, failing to disclose all liabilities, shifting future expenses into the current period. Yeah. And what is the solution? A solution is we can make a control, separation of duties of audits, a review of policy and procedure, and others. Yeah, the last topic is about the international finance. Yeah, this is the interesting topic because one of the Nobel in economic, according the information from our professor, one of the Nobel's laureates is our grand fathers in economic foundation. Yeah, Eugene Fama. Yeah. And from the international finance, we learn about the market efficiency. What is market efficiency? Market efficiency is prices reflect all available information. Market efficiency consists of three forms. The first form is weak. Weak is definition is current prices maybe reflect only the information contained in past trading data, like only prices, volume, and etc. Semi-strong form. Yeah, the current prices reflect all publicly available information. And the last thing, the strong market efficiency, yeah, is the current prices reflect all both public and private information that can possibly known to anyone. Yeah, that's the summary of financial corporate finance that we learned from this semester. Thank you. Have a great day ahead.